Right. A slight weight while I put on my false fingernails. God gave me a great desire to play the guitar and lousy fingernails, so it's not a good mix. There was an old couple lived under the hill, Blunt it was their name, ho. They had good beer and wine for to sell, and it bore a wonderful fame, ho. John Blunt and his wife, oh, they drank of the drink till they could drink no more, oh. They both got tired and they went to bed, but forgot to bar the door, oh. A bargain they made it strong and sure, oh. The first of them that should speak the first word should get up and bar the door, oh. There came visitors three, they come in the door, oh, let's do that one again. There came travellers three, travelling in the night, oh. No houses, nor homes, nor fire had they, nor yet any lamplight, oh. To his cellar and drank of his drink till they could drink no more, oh. Never a word did the old couple speak, for fear it should bar the door, oh. They went to his larder and ate of his food till they could eat no more, oh. But never a word did the old couple speak, for fear it should bar the door, oh. They went upstairs and they went in his room, they broke down the door, oh. But never a word did the old couple speak, for fear it should bar the door, oh. Oh, they called his wife right out of the bed, laid her out on the floor, oh. And poor John Blunt got up in his bed, for he could bear no more, oh. Says, you've eaten me food, drunk all me drink, laid me wife on the floor, oh. You spoke the first words John Bunchy did say, so get up and bar the door, oh. There we go, John Blunt.
Thanks, Mick, for that song of marital bliss. Yeah, good way to start the evening. Over now to Bob Wakeling, and after Bob, could we hear from David Kidman, please?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, loud and clear.
Right. Unfortunately, I had an email earlier a few days ago. Leon Rosselson has had a heart attack and then he went into hospital and died and got resuscitated, and now he's had a stroke. So he's a bit worried about how much longer he's got, and he won't be doing any more gigs anymore. This is one of his songs, one of my favourites. I've sung it here before, but I'll do it again. Whoever invented the fish finger ought to be transmogrified. Skin mashed and boxed into uniform blocks, then covered in breadcrumbs from collar to socks, then frozen and finally fried. Because who do that to a fish, picking its way through the sea? Colours in harmony perfectly poised, riding its flying trapeze. And progress is all very well, but not when it chops up our dream. And it's hard to feel at ease with the world when nothing is what it seems. Whoever invented the Daily Mail ought to be cut down to size, pulped and reduced to a nauseous juice, then dried out and flattened till ready for use, then covered in newsprint and lies. Because who do that to a tree, reaching its head to the sky, rooted in centuries, telling tall tales, breathing a green lullaby, and progress is all very well, but not when they chop down our dreams. And it's hard to feel at ease with the world when nothing is what it seems. Whoever invented the policeman ought to be licked into shape, toughened and trained to the body that came, to the arms were a chain, to the nerves feel no pain, till the billions roots and encircle the brain with the rules, so he'll never escape. Because who do that to a child, jumping with joys and desire, rooted jumping with joys and desire. And progress is all very well, but not when it locks up our dream. And it's hard to feel at ease with the world when nothing is what it seems. Sorry about that. I always say that lulls you into a false sense of security when you hear the first verse.
Thanks, Bob. Great to hear one of Leon Rosselson's songs. Not so good to hear the news about his health, but we wish him well. Over now to David Kidman and Steve Andisaw. Could you please follow David?
Right, I'm unmuted, everybody else is muted. This changing things slightly, but we do have water in this one. We've had fish fingers, now we've got some water in it, hence the backdrop, the canal backdrop. Spot the deliberate mistake. This is a song which was written for an EFDSS song contest in spring 1971, and it won it. The judge was Bert Lloyd. It's written by a guy called Dave Ritchie, who is no longer with us. And it's based on the situation that developed during the Second World War because of a shortage of other transport. Guinness was transported by canal between Park Royal and Birmingham, and a pair of boats did the journey in a record of 37 hours, as opposed to the usual 3 or 4 days, thus the celebration and the title of the song, The Finest of Them All. Oh, the morn was cold and raw as we loaded at Park Royal, with a cargo of barrels that was 50 tons or more. 'Twas the finest you ever saw, finest you ever saw, finest you ever saw. On the Union, Staffordshire or Birmingham Canal, we're the finest you ever saw. Now in winter's icy claw, there's no road nor rail at all, and it were left to the narrow boats to get the cargo through to the finest you ever saw. Now away from the wharf we draw, with the botty close behind, and we'll be back down from Birmingham in under 7 days, on the finest you ever saw, the finest you ever saw, finest you ever saw. On the Union, Staffordshire or Birmingham Canal, we're the finest you ever saw. At last by the lame jack door, we are moored and the casks are away, but the word is up from Acton that they need us once again, need the finest you ever saw. To the tunnel's dark wet moor, and on through the locks we steer, past pub and bridge and winding hole we battle through each mile, on the finest you ever saw, finest you ever saw, on the finest you ever saw. On the Union, Staffordshire or Birmingham Canal, on the finest you ever saw. Now a strong dark pint we'll draw, at the brewer's wharf we lie, and we're a pair down from Birmingham in 37 hours. We're the finest of them all, finest of them all, we're the finest of them all. Oh, we're a pair down from Birmingham in 37 hours. We're the finest of them all. Hey, Richard.
The finest of them all, David. Thank you. Okay, over now to Steve, and after Steve, could we have Clive Woolf take the floor, please?
Okay, after seeing that bunny of Tara's, I'm going to sing you a song about a cow. Who is the cow who looks so neat, tripping along on 4 hoofed feet? I'll tell you now, it's Tiddles the dancing cow. Oi, she likes to foxtrot, she likes to waltz, round all the clubs and the dancing halls. She likes to quick step and she's called Tiddles the dancing cow. Oi, Tiddles, oh Tiddles, a bovine-ish riddle. She's such an individual. How now, brown cow, up in the air then down where the thud is. She hits the ground and the dance floor shudders. That's 'cause she's better than all of the others. Tiddles the dancing cow. Oi, she used to live down on the farm. She used to live eat grass all day long. Now on the TV, see all the charm of Tiddles the dancing cow. Oi, she rose to fame when she went on Strictly, where all the judges they take the mick. Then all the audience cheered so thickly for Tiddles the dancing cow. Oi, Tiddles, oh Tiddles, she dances round Liddles. When she goes shopping, up and down the aisle she's hopping. See Tiddles dancing in the street, famous from Timbuktu to Crete. She is the cow who can't be beat. Tiddles the dancing, Tiddles the dancing, Tiddles the dancing cow. Oi!
You've excelled yourself again, Steve. Thank you. Yeah, great to meet Tiddles. Okay, over now to Clive for some form of normality. And after Clive, let's hear from Sheila Miller.
Fair enough. I hate to say it but it's a religious song. In of an old friar, as I have been told, sing Father old diddle I-dee. He courted a lady just 15 years old, sing Father old diddle I-dee. He came to the maid as she lay on her bed, and he swore that he would have her maidenhead. To me fair, oh lair, oh little, sing twice to me lanky down derry, oh. Oh no, said the maid, for you know very well, sing Father old diddle I-dee. If we do such things, then we do go to hell, sing Father old diddle I-dee. No matter, my dear, for you need have no doubt, for if you was in hell, I could sing you out. To me fair, oh lair, oh little, sing twice to me lanky down derry, oh. Oh then, said the maid, well, you shall have this thing, sing Father old diddle I-dee. But you to me first 10 guineas must bring, sing Father old diddle I-dee. And while he was gone, the money to fetch, she thought to herself how the old friar she could catch. To me fair, oh lair, oh little, sing twice to me lanky down derry, oh. And while he was gone, the truth to tell, sing Father old diddle I-dee. She hung a cloth on the front of the well, sing Father old diddle I-dee. He knocked at the door and the maid let him in. Oh now, my dear, oh let us begin. To me fair, oh lair, oh little, sing twice to me lanky down derry, oh. But at last cried the maid, oh crafty and cunning, sing Father old diddle I-dee. I think that I see my father a-coming, sing Father old diddle I-dee. No matter, my dear, for you need have no doubt, for if you was in hell, I could sing you out. To me fair, fair, oh lair, oh little, sing twice to me lanky down derry, oh. Well, she helped him out and she bid him be gone, sing Father old diddle I-dee. But the friar, he wanted his money again, sing Father old diddle I-dee. Oh no, said the maid, I'll have none of the matter. Indeed, you must pay me for dirtying the water. To me fair, oh lair, oh little, sing twice to me lanky down derry, oh. And out of the well the old friar did creep, sing Father old diddle I-dee. A dripping his arse like a newly dipped sheep, sing Father old diddle I-dee. And young and old commended the maid for the very pretty trick she had played. To me fair, oh lair, oh little, sing twice to me lanky down derry, oh. End.
Twice to me lanky down derry, oh has to be one of the best nonsense lyrics in the world. Loving it. Thanks, Clive. Over now to Sheila, and after Sheila, could we have Marty Stock, please?
This is not traditional. I sing a few of Noël Coward's long, wordy, witty songs, but this isn't one of those. This is an extremely short, silly song. You have to imagine me in old-fashioned costume sitting beside a spinning wheel. Ooh, sorry. Here at my spinning wheel I sit, while the robin sings ho on the orchard bough, Where is my love who rode away? Where be he now? Where be he, be he, be he, be he, be he, be he, be he now? Winter comes and then the spring. I weave and weave and weave and weave. I've worked for a year on a coat for my dear, and I've not yet finished the sleeve. Here at my spinning wheel I stay, my bobbin goes click, clack, click, clack. I've got my warp right up my woof, and I can't get the bloody thing back. That's it. Silly, as I said.
I wasn't expecting that ending, I have to say, Sheila. Fun. Okay, over now to Marty Stock, and then could we have Maggie and Pete, please?
I'd like to sing Annan Water, and I wonder if I get the Scottish accent right. I'm a little nervous to sing it in front of true Scots people. Anyway. Oh, Annan water's wondrous deep, and my love Ann is wondrous bonny. I'm loath that she should wet her feet, because I love her best of any. Go saddle for me the bonny grey mare, go saddle her soon and make her ready. For I must cross that stream tonight, or never more I'll see my lady. And woe betide you, Annan water, by night you are a gloomy river, and over you I'll build a bridge, that never more true love may sever. And he has ridden o'er field and fen, o'er moor and moss, and many's the mire. His spurs of steel were sore to bite, sparks from the mare's hoofs flew like fire. The mare flew o'er both moor and moss, and when she reached the Annan water, she couldn't have ridden a furlong more, had 1,000 whips been laid upon her. And woe betide you, Annan water, by night you are a gloomy river, and over you I'll build a bridge, that never more true love may sever. O boatman, come, put off your boat for gold and money, for I must cross that stream tonight, or never more I'll see my lady. Oh, I was sworn late yestereen, and not by one oath, but by many. Not for all the gold in merry Scotland, I dare not take ye to your Annie. The sides are steep, the water's deep, from bank to brae the water's pouring. Your bonny grey mare, she sweats for fear, she stands to hear the water roaring. And woe betide you, Annan water, By night you are a gloomy river, and over you I'll build a bridge that never more true love may sever. And he has tried to swim the stream, and he swam on both strong and steady. But the river was broad and strength did fail, and never more he'll see his lady. Oh, woe betide the willow wand, and woe betide the bush and briar, for they broke beneath her true love's hand, when strength did fail and limbs did tire. And woe betide you, Annan water, by night you are a gloomy river, and over you I'll build a bridge that never more true love may sever.
Fabulous.
Lovely stuff, Marty. Nothing to apologise for there, I can tell you.
It's excellent.
Okay, Maggie and Pete, it's over to you now, and then let's have Paul Steele, please.
Oh, Marty, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
We have a temperance song. We had a couple of extra verses from Sheila Miller. We'll expect her to sing along. Oh, come, come away from labor now reposing. Our jubilee has set us free. So come, come away. Come hail the day that celebrates the ransom of the inebriates from all that does intoxicate. Oh, come, come away. We welcome you here with heart and hands wide open. Ye gallant sons of temperance, we welcome you here. Heaven's blessings on your plans we pray. Ye come our sinking friends to save and rescue from a drunkard's grave. We welcome you here. We welcome you here, ye who your vows have broken, falling before the tempter's power. We welcome you here. You who have sold yourselves for naught, take back the precious spoon you bought, and take a sober second thought, and try again. We welcome you here, you maids and matrons lovely, whose charms we yield will win the field. We welcome you here. Ye who have hearts to feel for woe, wide as the streams of sorrow flow. Frown upon the deadly foe, but smile on the sun. We welcome you here, ye who with taste perverted has seized the cup and drank it up. We welcome you here. Come join us in our holy aim, the poor besotted to reclaim, the broken heart to cheer again. Oh, come, sign the pledge.
Hey.
You almost converted me there, but not quite. So better luck next time. Over to Paul, and then could we hear from Hazel Richings, please?
Some people call me a junker, 'cause I'm loaded all the time. I'm just happy, and I feel good all the time. Some people say I use a needle. Some say I sniff cocaine. It's just the best old feeling in the world I've ever seen. So it's goodbye, goodbye to whiskey, so long to railroad gin. I just want my reefer, I want to get high again. Well, some people they crave for chicken, and some crave for porterhouse steak. But when I get loaded, I won't want my milk or cake. Some people call me a junker, because I'm loaded all the time, and it just means nothing when you feel good all the time.
Thanks, Paul. Always good to hear you. It's time now for Hazel, and then over to Martin Nail, please.
And now for something completely different. I sang this at the weekend, and I was at the New Forest Folk Festival, getting wet and dry and wet again. But the Portsmouth Shanty men were there, and they backed me on Greenland Ghost by Linda Kelly. So I'll try that one again. And if you can learn it, you can join in, but I'm afraid I still won't hear you. It's about a fisherman, a sea captain from Hull, who always watched his men and was known as the Greenland Ghost because he stayed awake as long as he felt necessary to keep the vessel safe. Well, my name is Michael Shaw and I'm a sailor, although it's many years since I have seen the ocean waves. I've done many things and most have been a failure, but the sea will always follow me and take me to me grave. When I was a lad, my father left me mother and set up with a docker's wife he met one Easter tide. And me mother sighed and never took another, but cried herself to sleep at night, a bottle by her side. I've seen places other men can only dream of, and cursed my very living when it took me back to sea. There are better ways of life than of a sailor, but the good Lord has decided it's the only one for me. I resolved to go to sea and earn a living. I'd brothers and I'd sisters, not a scrap of food between. And my mother was so grateful for the giving that kept her from the workhouse where we went when times were lean. I had nothing but the clothes that I stood up in, when at 14 years of age I joined the Hamling Company. But someone up in heaven had been watching, and he sent a guardian angel to protect me on the sea. I've seen places other men can only dream of, and cursed my very living when it took me back to sea. There are better ways of life than of a sailor, but the good Lord has decided it's the only one for me. Well, our captain, he was fair and was forgiving. He wouldn't stand for idlers, and he kept an honest crew. If you worked hard, he saw you earned a living. He was more than any father, least of all the one I knew. He captained many trawlers on the Humber, and stayed on watch so long I swear he kept those storms at bay. Fished Arctic grounds too many times to number, searching for the mighty cod so we could earn our pay. I've seen places other men can only dream of, and cursed my very living when it took me back to sea. There are better ways of life than of a sailor, but the good Lord has decided it's the only one for me. Well, I've sailed with stormy bastards up in Iceland, and cast the nets in oceans that have swept good men away. Danced with death and icebergs up in Greenland, clung to life and limb and prayed I'd live to spend me pay. And looking back, I know God was a sailor, pulling down the hatches when the mighty waves did blow. He never was the type to ever fail ya, and when we meet in heaven, I'll be sure to let him know. I've seen places other men can only dream of, and cursed my very living when it took me back to sea. There are better ways of life than of a sailor, but the good Lord has decided it's the only one for me. Thank you.
Lovely, Hazel.
Thank you.
Fine singing.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Hazel. Thank you. And everybody, please don't forget to put the details of your song in the chat for everyone to see. And also, I think there might be one or two people who have not yet indicated to sing. So if you have not yet done so, please put your virtual hand up and I'll put you on the list. We still have a little bit of space. Okay, over now to Martin Nail, and I shall sing after Martin.
I enlisted in the army, that's in uniform quite new, and if they'd let me have a drum, I'd be a drummer too, to rush into the battlefield with a broadsword in my hand, to hear the cannons rattle and the music play so grand. Yes, the music plays so grand, the music plays so grand, to hear the cannons rattle and the music plays so grand. Oh, when I was a young girl at the age of 17, far from my parents ran away, all for to serve the Queen. The officer enlisting me said I was a nice young man. Well, I think you'll make a drummer, so just step this way, young man. So just step this way, young man. Just step this way, young man. I think you'll make a drummer, so just step this way, young man. Me waist being neat and slender, me fingers long and small, all for to play upon the drums I soon exceeded all. In pulling my red tunic off, I often used to smile, to think I laid in it with 1,000 men and a maiden all the while, a maiden all the while, a maiden all the while, to think I lay with 1,000 men and a maiden all the while. I was sent off to London to be sentry at the Tower, and there I might have stayed until this very day and hour. But a young girl fell in love with me, she found I was a maid, and straightway to my officer Miss Secret betrayed, Miss Secret betrayed, Miss Secret betrayed, and it's straightway to me officer Miss Secret she betrayed. Well, the officer he sent for me to know if it were true. Of such a thing I cannot and I won't believe of you. Then he looked me in the face and he smiled as he said, well, it's a pity we should you lose you, such a drummer as you've made, a drummer as you've made, a drummer as you've made. Well, it's a pity we should lose you, such a drummer as you've made. So it's farewell, my dear officer, you have been kind to me, and likewise, my dear comrades, I'm not forgetting thee. And if your army should be short for the want of any man, well, I'll put on me cap and feather, and I'll beat the drum again. I'll beat the drum again. I'll beat the drum again. Well, I'll put on me cap and feather, and I'll beat the drum again. Yes, I'll beat the drum again. I'll beat the drum again. Well, I'll put on me cap and feather, and I'll beat the drum again.
Excellent.
Well sung. Thanks, Martin. That's one of my favourites of yours. I always like joining in. And written in the days before equal opportunities legislation, obviously. So progress, eh? Okay. So I'm going to sing, and Steve Suffet, could you follow me, please? I was reminded of this song when I was down. I was actually by the seashore the other day in Cornwall on a very rocky bit of coast, and I thought of this song and realised I think I know it. Hopefully I know it. Please join in the chorus. As I was a-walking down by the seashore, where the wind and the waves and the billows do roar, I heard a strange voice make a sorrowful sound, with the wind and the waves and the echoes all round, crying, oh, my love is gone. He's the youth I adore. He is gone, and I never shall see him no more. She'd a voice like a nightingale, skin like a dove, and the song that she sang, it was all about love. I asked her to marry me please, but the answer she gave, my love's drowned in the seas, crying, oh, my love is gone. He's the youth I adore. He is gone, and I never shall see him no more. I said I had gold and I'd silver beside. In a coach and 6 horses with me she would ride. No, I never will marry nor make someone's wife. I'll be constant and single all the time I have life. Crying, oh, my love is gone. He's the youth I adore. He is gone, and I never shall see him no more. She threw out her arms and she took a great leap. From the cliffs so high to the billows so deep, crying the rocks of the ocean shall be my deathbed, and the shrimps of the sea shall swim over my head, crying, oh, my love is gone. He's the youth I adore. He is gone, and I never shall see him no more. And now every night at 6 bells they appear, with the moon shining bright and the stars standing clear. These 2 constant lovers, with all their young charms, rolling over and over in each other's arms, crying, oh, my love is gone. He's the youth I adore. He is gone, and I never shall see him no more.
Lovely. Well sung.
Thank you, everybody. That was the Forsaken Mermaid. And Steve Suffet, you are up next, followed by John White, please.
Whoops. I asked my mother who my daddy was and why he never come home. She turned to me and said with a hung down sorry head, he has the long chains on. Was early one evening, you know, the sky was turning yellow and the sun was slowly going down, when a strange man come running across the cornfield. In the distance I heard the bloodhound. Now he ran into the back of my mama's shack. He didn't stay there very long. And when he was gone again, you know, I asked my mama, who's the strange man with the long chains on? Now she turned, said to me with a hung down sorry head, you know, her voice was very sad. She says to me, sonny, that man's no stranger. She said, son, that man, he's your dad. Was later that evening, you know, we was eating our supper when the sun was slowly going down. Sorry. Later that evening,
you know, we was eating our supper when we heard the knock at the door. Sheriff man, he said, honey, your man's lying dead in the dust by the general store. Well, my mama riding all the way to town, she fell down on the ground. She pulled his bleeding black body in her arms. You know, the bloodstains, they ruined her pretty gown. And he says, Matilda, I know I'm dying, yet I ain't never been free. When I get to heaven, you know, I'm gonna ask Jesus to take these iron chains off of me. Take these chains off of me. Thank you. Sorry for missing a chord change there somewhere.
Thanks, Steve. A new one on me and a good one. Okay, over now to John White. John, Libby will unmute you as usual. And after John, could we hear from Jean and Phil, please?
Right, this is a song from the 1860s and been kept alive over the years because it's been covered by about 20 different people, from Bing Crosby to the Chipmunks. At that time, Leicester Square was packed with people every day queuing up to see the sensation of the age, a young French acrobat who each night swung out over the stalls on his flying trapeze. And oh, by the way, his name was Jules Léotard. So ladies, when you put on your leotards for the gym, you are celebrating the daring young man on the flying trapeze. Once I was happy, but now I'm forlorn, like an old coat that is tattered and torn, left in this wide world to fret and to mourn, betrayed by a maid in her teens. This maid that I loved, she was handsome. I tried all I knew her to please, but I could not please her 1/4 so much as the man on the flying trapeze. Whoa, he flies through the air with the greatest of ease, that daring young man on the flying trapeze. His movements are graceful, all girls he does please, and my love he's stolen away. Now this young man by name was Signor Bono Chang, tall, big and handsome, as well made as Chang. Where he appeared, the whole loudly rang with ovation from all people there. He smiled on the crowd from to the people below, and one night he smiled on my love. She winked back at him and she shouted bravo as he hung by his nose up above. Whoa, he flies through the air with the greatest of ease, that daring young man on the flying trapeze. His movements are graceful, all girls he does please, and my love he's stolen away. One night I, as usual, went to her dear home, found there her father and mother alone. I asked for my love, and soon they made known to my horror that she'd run away. She'd packed up her box and eloped in the night, and went with the greatest of ease. From 2 stories up, he had lowered her down to the ground on his flying trapeze. Whoa, she flies through the air with the greatest of ease, that daring young man on the flying trapeze. His movements are graceful, all girls he does please, and my love he's stolen away. Some months after this, I went to a hall was greatly surprised there to see on the wall a bill in red letters, which did my heart gall, that she was appearing with him. He taught her gymnastics and dressed her in tights to help him to live at his ease, and made her assume a masculine name. And now she goes on the trapeze. Whoa! She flies through the air with the greatest of ease, that daring young girl on the flying trapeze. She does all the work while he takes his ease, and that's what's become of my love.
Hurrah!
Bravo.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Great stuff.
A classic, John, a classic. Thank you. Great stuff. So, Jean and Phil are next, and after they have sung, could we have Tara, please?
Wow, that was wonderful, John. Absolutely great. This is a song now called First Day at Mill. Started off life as a poem written by Mabel Harrison, and Bernard Wrigley put it to music.
Waken up, me little lass, it's nearly 6 o'clock. So pity I overslept and never heard Sam's knock. Nay, at last you mustn't weep, it's none so bad, you'll see. First day at mill is always strange, but our Jim'll take care of thee. Well, you're such a little mite for 12, but then I were only 10. The first time I had to work at mill, and I went by me sen. Come, wrap your shawl around your head. It's blowing cold and snowing fast. You look at mill so close at hand, for it's none so good our class. Here's a bite for 8 o'clock and a mug to mash some tea. Our Jim will show you where to go. You'll know all folks you'll see. Don't fret because you missed your school. Now you're a grown-up lass. There comes a time we have to work before long days soon pass. Hush, you're waking up your dad, for he's coughed all night and he needs his sleep, the poorly man. God knows I need Jim and thee.
Short and sweet, but lovely. Thank you. Okay, over now to Tara, and then let's have Jim Lucas.
Hiya. Just to say thank you to Amanda for all you've done with this Sharps thing, because we're all here thanks to you in large part, and we missed you when you weren't there last week. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'll sing something and shut up. Some say I got devil, and some say I got angel, but I'm just this girl in trouble. I don't think I'm in danger, don't think I'm in danger, no. I know I'm not in danger. But some have tried to sell me all kinds of things to save me from hurting like a woman and crying like a baby, something like a woman, crying like a baby. And oh, the things that I have seen qualify me for a part in your dreams, qualify me for this dream. And oh, I'd like to tell you exactly how I feel, but somehow the music hides it and conceals it, hides it and conceals it, oh, it hides it and oh, the things that I have seen can be hidden in a part of my dreams. I'm gonna hide them in this dream. And some say I got devil, and some they say I got angel, but I'm just this girl in trouble. I don't think I'm in danger, don't think I'm in danger, no. I know I'm not in danger. Thank you, that was Melanie.
Lovely, Tara. Well sung.
Wow.
Lovely stuff, Tara. We're having quite a lot of short and sweet songs, so we've got through an unprecedented number in just over an hour. Incredible, which is great because maybe we'll have more singers as a result. But lovely. Okay, over now to Jim Lucas, followed by Wendy Lanchin.
Okay, I've had a very chaotic last few days, so I'm going to simplify it with a bog standard sea shanty. General Taylor gained a day, walk him along, John carry him along, and old Santillana he ran away, carry him to his burying ground. To me way a stormy, walk him along, John carry him along, to me way a stormy, carry him to his burying ground. Now General Taylor died long ago, walk him along, John carry him along, and he's gone where the storm winds never shall blow. Carry him to his burying ground. To me way is stormy, walk him along, John carry him along. To me way is stormy, carry him to his burying ground. Now he dug his grave with a silver spade, walk him along, John carry him along, and his shroud of the finest brown silk it was made, carry him to his burying ground. To me way is stormy, walk him along, John carry him along. To me way is stormy, carry him to his burying ground. We lowered him down with a golden chain, walk him along, John carry him along. Old Stormy will never rise again, carry him to his burying ground. To me way is stormy, walk him along, John carry him along. To me way is stormy, carry him to his burying ground. Now I wish I was General Taylor's son, walk him along, John carry him along. I build me a ship of 1,000 ton, carry him to his burying ground. To me way is stormy, Walk him along, John, carry him along to me way, stormy. Carry him to his burying ground. Yes, I'd build me a ship of 1,000 ton. Walk him along, John, carry him along, and then I'd fill her all up with New England rum. Carry him to his burying ground. To me way, stormy. Walk him along, John, carry him along to me way, hey, you stormy. Carry him to his burying ground. Then I'd give a tot to every man. Walk him along, John, carry him along, and a bottle full to the shanty man. Carry him to his burying ground. To me way, stormy. Walk him along, John, carry him along. To me way, hey, stormy. Carry him to his burying ground.
Whoa. Wow, that was rousing, Jim. I take it your neighbours are not at home this evening.
I'm in Sweden again.
Ah.
So my neighbours are the cows and they don't mind.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant stuff. Okay, Wendy, it's over to you now. And Pal, could you follow Wendy, please?
Okay, so unlike usual, I'm going to sing a ballad, but it's a fairly modern one from 1985, and it's called The Queen and the Soldier. The soldier came knocking upon the Queen's door. He said, I am not fighting for you anymore. And the Queen knew she'd seen his face someplace before. And slowly she led him inside. He said, I've watched your palace up here on the hill, and I've wondered who the woman is for whom we all kill. But I am leaving tomorrow, and you can do what you will. Only first I am asking you why. Down the long narrow hall he was led, into her rooms with the tapestries red, and she never once took the crown from her head. She asked him there to sit down. He said, I see you now, you are so very young, but I've seen more battles lost than I have battles won, and I've got this intuition that it's all for your fun. And now, will you tell me why? Well, the young queen, she fixed him with an arrogant eye. She said, you won't understand, and you may as well not try. But her face was a child's, and he thought she would cry. But she closed herself up like a fan. And she said, I have swallowed a secret burning thread. It cuts me inside, and often I've bled. He laid his hand then on top of her head, and he bowed her down to the ground. Tell me, how hungry are you? How weak must you feel as you live here alone and are never revealed? But I won't march again on your battlefield. And he took her to the window to see. And the sun it was gold, though the sky it was grey, and she wanted more than she ever could say. But she knew how it frightened her, and she turned away and would not look at his face again. And he said, I want to live as an honest man, to get all I deserve and to give all I can, and to love a young woman that I don't understand. Your Highness, your ways are very strange. But the crown it had fallen, and she thought it would break, and she stood there before him, ashamed of the way her heart ached. She took him to the doorstep, and she asked him to wait. She would only be a moment inside. Out in the distance her order was heard, and the soldier was killed, still waiting for her word, while the queen went on strangling in the solitude she preferred. The battle continued on, the battle continued on.
Wow. Wow, it's right.
Tremendous.
It's such a weird, enigmatic song, that. Well done, Wendy. Yeah, great. Okay, over now to Pal and then Simon Prager.
I have to follow that.
Sorry.
I'm doing a shortish one because I'm in the middle of some fairly horrendous dental treatment and I don't know how it's going to sound. Just a note, for the time is short, dear. Hard is the work and long the day, but my fond heart will be with you, Mary, although you are many, many miles away. Kiss the children for me, Mary. Do not let them pine nor grieve. Tell them how I am working for them, how our home I had to leave. Building dams in the fields and the factories, moving concrete by the load. Tell them I will be with you, Mary, when I am finished working on the road. Just a note, for the time is short, dear. Hard is the work and long the day, but my fond heart will be with you, Mary, although you are many, many miles away. Although you are many, many miles away.
Lovely stuff, Pal, and I hope the dental treatment continues well. It doesn't seem to interfere anyway, let's put it that way. Okay, Simon next, followed by Gwyneth Try, please.
Okay, this is I had a request a few weeks back from Paul, I think. Was it from Paul? Paul Reed. I remember all the requests I've ever had. I remember both the requests I've ever had. And he asked for a Brunsey song. And this is a Brunsey song called All By Myself. The guitar part is heavily influenced by another great guitarist called Blind Blake. It's a bit like a piece of his which was called Diddy Wah Diddy, which is juvenile filth. And I prefer my filth mature. Just around the world. When I get back, I'll have diamonds and pearls. All by myself, all by myself. I don't need nobody's help, I can do it all by myself. Well, now, jawbreaking Jimmy ain't no hanging crime. I'm in the pen now and I'm doing time. I'm by myself, all by myself. I don't need nobody's help, I can do it all by myself. My babe to hurry home. Ain't had no loving since she been gone. I'm by myself, I'm by myself. I don't need nobody's help, I can do it all by myself. Jane said to Black-Eyed Sue, Uncle Sam's army, I can take care of them all by myself, all by myself. I don't need nobody's help, I can do it all by myself. Just around the world. But when I get back, I'll have diamonds and pearls. All by myself, all by myself. I don't need nobody's help, I can do it all by myself. All by myself, all by myself. I don't need nobody's help, I can do it all by myself.
Hey. Great stuff.
You certainly can do it all by yourself, Simon, and it sounds fantastic, so keep doing it. Okay, over now to Gwyneth, and then could we have Tom Reed following Gwyneth to finish the first half?
Right, I'm going to do a version of the Rio Grande Shanty, but it's from the Singing Together, so it's a nice child-proof one. Where are you? That's right. Are you going, my pretty maid? Oh, Rio, I'm going a milking, sir, she said, but we're bound for the Rio Grande. Then away, love, away, away for Rio. So fare you well, my bonny young girl, for we're bound for the Rio Grande. Oh, may I go with you, my pretty maid? Oh, Rio, you're kindly welcome, sir, she said. We're bound for the Rio Grande. Then away, love, away, away for Rio. So fare you well, my bonny young girl, for we're bound for the Rio Grande. Oh, what is your father, my pretty maid? Oh, Rio, my father's a farmer, sir, she said, but we're bound for the Rio Oh, pray will you marry me, my pretty maid? Oh, Rio, I will if you wish, kind sir, she said, but we're bound for the Rio Grande. Then away, love, away. Way for Rio, so fare you well, my bonny young girl, for we're bound for the Rio Grande. Oh, what is your fortune, my pretty maid? Oh, Rio, my face is my fortune, sir, she said, bound for the Rio Grande. Then away, love, away. Way for Rio, so fare you well, my bonny young girl, for we're bound for the Rio Grande. Oh, then I can't marry you, my pretty maid. Oh, Rio. Oh, nobody asked you, sir, she said, but we're bound for the Rio Grande. Then away, love, away. Way for Rio, so fare you well, my bonny young girl, for we're bound for the Rio Grande. Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Thanks, Gwyneth. We're having lots of great chorus songs tonight. That was another one. So yeah, enjoyed joining in. Okay, time now for Tom Reid, and Tom will close the first half. Then we'll do it all again in the second half. Over to you, Tom.
Thank you, Amanda. I've closed many a first half and many a second half too. Oh, brother, oh, sister, come on down to the river. Oh, father, oh, mother, way deep in the water. Oh, children, keep on striving. Someday you'll find peace when freedom's light comes shining. Then shall you be released. Can you hear it like thunder from a distant blue yonder? Oh, wisdom, oh, wonder, be yours to discover. From the mountains to the rivers, from the desert to the seas, we all shall be delivered when that new world is revealed. Oh, brother, oh, sister, come on down to the river. Oh, father, oh, mother, wade deep in the water. Oh, children, keep on striving. Someday you'll find peace when freedom's light comes shining. Then shall you be released. Here we go. Oh, brother.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Can't hear you yet, Kate. I think you've still got a bit of unmuting to do.
Can you hear me?
Yep, yep.
Ah, okay. I tell you what, it's very funny because sitting and listening to your stories about getting lost is like child's play. In fact, someone could book me for a whole series of evenings and I could tell you stories. And one that I'll just briefly say is somebody, a taxi once in the middle of the night dropped me off at what I thought was the flat that I lived at. And it was a very similar block. And it was built just the same, probably about 200 yards away. But I hadn't got a clue how to get back. And round Lambeth Walk, having to find a trusty person to walk me back to my right flat was horrendous. Anyway, I'm going to sing a song. It's quite a contemporary song, and it's about the sea, and it's lovely. And I've sung it many times. It's Brian Bedford's White Horses. White horses are calling me to ride on the tide of the wide open sea, spurred by the wind and tamed by the moon. I will ride the white horses, ride the white horses. I'll ride the white horses soon. No sailor am I, for the city's my place, but still I would feel the salt wind on my face, watching starlings that silently race to the sands, pounding moonlight and starlight lit shimmering lands, where white horses are calling me to ride on the tide of the wide open sea, spurred by the wind and tamed by the moon. I will ride the white horses, ride the white horses. I'll ride the white horses soon. Every path seems to lead to the key that's inside, and there take the ebb tide to where I would ride. Watching the nights and free, endless horizons, the stars and the sea, where white horses are calling me to ride on the tide of the wide open sea, spurred by the wind and tamed by the moon. I will ride the white horses, ride the white horses. I'll ride the white horses soon. This sea has no danger, this ocean no threat. Safe on my pillow, brave dreams I'll forget. Still in starlight close I lie, they race for the shore, and I ride the white horses once more. White horses are calling me to ride on the tide of the wide open sea. Tempted by the wind and tamed by the moon, I will ride the white horses, ride the white horses, I'll ride the white horses soon.
Wonderful, Kate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Another favourite, really. Okay, Bob Bosson is next, followed by Jill. And Jill, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's Jill Drower or Jill D. Roar, because it's written on the screen. But anyway, you're on after Bob.
Okay.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can I be heard?
Yes, you can.
Good. I think this will benefit from a very brief bit of explanation. Newfoundland is the most eastern province of Canada and the most recent. Until 1949, it was a separate country, but through a lot of mismanagement and one thing and another, it was near bankrupt. And the leadership, the leader then was a man named Joey Smallwood, decided that the best solution was to become a province of Canada and put it to a referendum at which it was roundly defeated. But Smallwood knew what he wanted, so he called another referendum and it squeaked through. So this is a song set in that period. Some of it's in the Newfoundland dialect. Just two things. The Newfoundland is a fancy hotel where the government and business types would meet. And the other line, here's to the bye and skinny whoppers copying the pans like a man till he's in the fat, is here's to the boy in hip waders jumping from ice floe to ice floe until he's in the center of the seal herd. So in case you ever need that, there you go. Okay. We're Newfoundlanders, not Canadians, not by a damn sight yet. And I swear by the moon and the snows in June and the fog rolling in over Riverhead. Tell Joey and his corner boy buddies in the Newfoundland up from the wharf like Water Street rats. We're Newfoundlanders, not Canadians, not by a damn sight yet. I was born to Conception Bay, and by the bay by I'll die, where the winter's cold as a merchant's heart and the nor'east blows on off Funk Isle. Built my house where I damn well pleased with my window on the sea for a television set. I'm a Newfoundlander, not Canadian, not by a damn sight yet. We're Newfoundlanders, not Canadians, not by a damn sight yet. And I swear by the moon and the snows in June and the fog rolling in over Beta Verde. Tell Joey and his corner boy buddies in the Newfoundland up from the wharf like Water Street rats. We're Newfoundlanders, not Canadians, not by a damn sight yet. Sir William Coker was a fisherman's friend, not one of your St. John's lawyers, and he never stole a penny from the public purse like a high-toned sons of the Water Street boys. And if Sir Bill was alive today, old Coker would tell the Confederates, I'm a Newfoundlander, not Canadian, not by a damn sight yet. So here's a Dominion ale and a toast to the Dominion of Newfoundland. Here's to the bayman born to the coast and the woman who turns a fish by hand. Here's to the boy in skinny whoppers copying the pans like a man till he's in the fat. He's a Newfoundlander, not Canadian, not by a damn sight yet. We're Newfoundlanders, not Canadians, not by a damn sight yet. And I swear by the moon and the snows in June and the fog rolling in over Pistol Land.
till Joey and his corner boy buddies in the Newfoundland. Up from the wharf like Water Street rats, we're Newfoundlanders, not Canadians, not by a damn sight yet.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What a mouthful of words, Bob. Amazing. Great. Okay. So Jill is on next. Jill, I think I'm losing the plot, but I think we haven't had you sing for us here yet at Sharps in Isolation.
I haven't sung before.
Yeah, well, welcome. Looking forward to hearing you sing. And just to say, after Jill, it will be Dave Harbord. But over to you now, Jill.
You too. Yeah, this is a song I've missed singing since lockdown. I used to, well, in the days before lockdown, I sang it with Simon accompanying me, but I haven't had the chance because of everything that's happened. So it's about overfishing, and it's called When First I Came to Caledonia. When first I came to Caledonia, and I got loading at number 3, and I got lodgings with Donald Norman. He had a daughter, could make good tea. And it was me and my brother Charlie, 2 boulder shavers you ne'er did see, were spearing eels in the month of April, 2 starving slaves out on the Scattery. I went to Norman to buy some brogans, a cake of soap and a pound of tea, but Norman said that I could not have them till fish got plenty on Scattery. So I went over to the big harbour. I only went for to see the spray. I saw a maid from Bouladry over. She looked to me like the Queen of May. If I had pen from Pennsylvania, if I had paper so snowy white, if I had ink of the rosy morning, a true love letter to you I'd write. I'd set my foot on the distant ocean, as far from land as once I could be, travelling far on the distant ocean, a woman's love would not trouble me. I set my face to a cask of brandy, and it's a dandy, I do declare, for when I'm drinking, I'm seldom thinking how I could gain that young lady fair. When first I came to Caledonia, and I got loading at number 3, and I got lodgings with Donald Norman. He had a daughter, could make good tea. Thank you.
Not heard that for a while.
You can come back, Jill. Thank you. Definitely. Yeah, great to hear that. Thank you. Okay, time now for Dave Harbord, followed by Racker Donnelly, please.
Okay, I've had a request, but it turns out to be physically impossible. Anyway, this is a song I learnt from the singing of Sheila Stewart. As I came by Huntley town one evening For to free I met with Bogie O'Kearney, and with him did agree to tend his two best horses, to cart and harrow and plough, and do anything about farm work I very well should know. Oh, Bogie had a daughter, and her name was Isabel. She was the lily of the valley, and the primrose of the dell. And when she went out walking, she took me for her guide, down by the Ben O'Kearney, for to see the fishes glide. And when 3 months had come and gone, this girl, she lost her bloom, the red fell from her rosy cheeks, and her eyes began to swoon. And when 9 months had come and gone, she's bore to me a son, and I was duly sent for to see what could be done. I said that I would marry her, but he said that would not do. You're no match for my bonny girl, and she's no match for you. And now she's married a tinker lad that comes from Huntley town. He mends pots and pans and paraffin lamps and scars the country round. Maybe she's gotten a better match, a Bogie cannot tell. So it's fairly well to Huntley town and to Bogie's bonny bell. Thank you.
Good story. Thank you. Okay, speaking of stories, Racker Donnelly is up next. And after Racker, could we hear from John Poe, please? Are you there, Racker?
Unmute. Am I unmuted, yeah?
You are now.
Great, great, right. I used to live in Wimbledon, and naturally I used to go off to the tennis every year, the wonderful fortnight, which ended at last Sunday. I don't live in Wimbledon anymore. In fact, I'm marooned in Ireland, in Bray, in County Wicklow, which is a lovely place to be marooned. But I used to love playing tennis, but I noticed there were certain tiny defects in my playing. So I got a coach to iron out these little wrinkles. And people often ask me, how did I become the tennis player I am today? And I hope this rhyme gives some information about that and is a lot of help to other people. I'm a very altruistic, philanthropic person, so I'm constantly trying to raise the standard of the human race. So here we go. It's called a tennis rack, R-A-C-Q, very superior spelling. For the coach, it's a racket. To me, it's a bat. He knows, I suppose, what he's up to. I don't know what he's at. To receive serve, stand back, 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 off the court. Then he serves short. To make the ball swerve, skew the bat as you serve. Don't buy it, don't try it, trap nerve. Try top spin, missed. Try again, the wrist. A quack had to set it, top spin, forget it. Eye on the ball at all times, then whack it. Eye on the ball, eye on your partner's racket. This piss extractor must be on hire to a chiropractor. This mocking cynic, chief crock supplier to the local clinic. Ceremony messin'. He whisked me in one brisk lesson to the top of the tree. a bonsai tree, but banzai. Now am a wow and how, oh so virtuoso, dynamic as Jimbo, dynamic as McEnroe, pecker like Woody Woodpecker, not silly and blasé like Nastase, but mean and keen as Serena Venus or Billie Jean. I can do it better than Leighton Hewitt, better than Federer. My pal Nadal, Rafa, he called me the gaffer. Pete Stampas, the upbeat Sampras, more demigodic than Andy Roddick, twice as shagassy as Andre Agassi. Compared to me, Henman was a henman, Borg a cyborg, Murray in too much of a hurry. Me vi Sharapova on Navratilova, Shamrock v Clover, on Tasty, Djokovic, Jokova. Rod Laver, I'm braver, I'd make Halep gallop and make a Horlicks out of cocoa and a hash of ash. And as for Kyrios, you can't be serious. I'm tasty as a billabong and just as strong with my boomerang serve as Miss Gula Gong. So it seems in my dreams. Oh, it's not just the gladiators and the gladioli, the grand and brave. We also serve, who only stand and wave and flail to little or no avail. For there's a law of life, it's practically official, that for these hotshots with their sting bats to succeed, some sacrificial dingbats have to fail. There you go. There I went. That's me. A tennis rack.
So good.
Yay.
Yay. Tremendous round.
Anyone for tennis.
You've excelled yourself with rhymes there. Great one. Okay, over now to John Pole, followed by Marianne McAleer. John, are you with us? You'll need to unmute if you are. Yeah, you're still on mute, I'm afraid. Just a second. Okay, I think we can hear you now. Try.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. I haven't zoomed or sung for some time, but this is a song based on a Spanish ballad. It's all for love that this young Lord Oliver rode out so early along the bay, and then he walked his white horse to water beside the sea on Midsummer Day. And while his horse drinks, this young Lord Oliver, he sings a song so sweet and clear. The birds of the air all stop and listen, enchanted by the sound they hear. Drink, little horse, drink, he sings, God keep you as safe from harm as you can be, from fire and flood and from hurt and hunger, and all the terrors of land and sea. The traveller hears him as he is travelling, and clean forgets where he is bound. The steersman finds that the ship he's steering has passed the harbour and turned around. The Queen is too in her tall, tall tower, saying, daughter, wake up, you sleep too long. Rise up and hear the mermaid singing. Oh, listen to her lovely song. Oh, mother, mother, that's not the mermaid singing so sweetly down by the sea. That is the voice of my young Lord Oliver, and he is pining for love of me. If that's the voice of your young Lord Oliver, my curse upon his song say I. He is of no blood, he shall not have you. I shall give orders, he must die. Mother, if you kill my young Lord Oliver, bury us in one grave, she cried. They found him, bound him, he died at midnight. And when the first cocks crew, she died. They buried her, the Queen's own daughter, where the high holy altar stood. They buried him some 3 steps below her, for he was not of royal blood. Out of her grave grew a snow-white rose tree, and out of his a milk-white thorn. They twined and twisted their boughs together, as if to make 2 into 1, and if their branches touched one another, they'd kiss and whisper as lovers do. But if they could not reach each other, they'd not cease grieving the whole night through. Uproot those 2 trees, the jealous Queen cried. Take a sharp axe and cut them down. The lad who did it could not stop weeping when he was told what he had done. But out of her grave there rose a heron, and out of his a goshawk grey. Both hawk and heron sped off together, and side by side they flew away. Young Lord Oliver.
Oh, lovely.
Based on the Spanish ballad Conde Orleans.
Great to have you back with us, John, and to hear that song. Yeah, it's a cracker. Okay, over now to Marianne, followed by Riggy, and suddenly we're tight for time. So if people could keep introductions short, that would be great. Over to you, Marianne.
Thanks, thank you, Amanda. This is a song that Eddie Butcher passed on to people. I am a youth that's inclined to ramble. For some other country I mean to steer.
I am loath to part with my friends and comrades, and my young sweethearts, whom I love dear. But there's one of those I do most admire, on her I think when I'm far away. But since fate decrees, I am resolved to part her, and seek my fortune in America. So farewell, darling, for I must leave you. I place great dependence on your constancy, that no other young man may gain your favor, or change your mind when I am on the sea. For though the seas they do separate us, and in between us they do rise and fall, if fortune favors me, you'll find your Jamie returning homeward from America. Oh, Jamie dear, do you remember when I sat with you for many's the hour, and my young fancy away was carried, and the bees hummed around us on each opening flower. But when you're crossing the western ocean, the maids that loved you ne'er mind of all, and you'll scarcely think upon the maid of Erin, for you'll find strange sweethearts in America. Oh, Mary dear, I don't dissemble, for to all other young maids I'll prove untrue. And if you think that these are false promises, I'll leave these vows as a pledge to you, that what I have may prove unsuccessful, and fortune seem to me a slippery ball, that a favouring gale it ne'er may blow on me, if I forsake you in America. So now to conclude and end my story, may God protect this young female fair, and keep her from every wild embarrassment, and of my darling take the greatest care, for she's slow to anger and of kind disposition, and her cheeks like roses in June do blow, and in my nightly slumbers, whene'er I think on her, I will court her vision in America. Sinead.
So beautiful, Mary.
Beautiful.
So beautiful.
Yes. Wonderful.
Very good.
Lovely stuff, Marianne. And don't forget, Marianne will be on at the cellar upstairs in the autumn. Okay, over to Riggy now, followed by Charles West.
That was so beautiful, Marianne. Thank you so much. Believe it or not, we had an English folk club here in San Francisco 25 years ago, and I was pleased to be made a resident. And there's a concept, calling on song. This was our calling on song. Get everybody to shut up after conversation and listen up to the singers. So the residents would all get up. It was like 10 of us. And this was our song. Good people, pray heed our petition. Your attention we beg and we crave. And if you are inclined for to listen, your attention we beg and we crave. We have come to relate many stories concerning our forefathers' time, and we hope they will drive out your worries. Of this we are all in one mind. Many tales of the poor and the gentry, of labor and love will arise. There are no finer songs in this country. In Scotland and Ireland likewise. There's one thing more needing mention, why the dances we danced all in fun. So now that you've heard our petition, we'll play on to the beat of the drum.
Short but sweet. I haven't heard that for a long time.
We will consider ourselves duly called on, Riggy. Thank you. And Charles is up next, followed by Mary Hogan.
Well, it's going to be fun to follow that call. I'm going to stick with my my Dylan track that I've been on lately and go back to 1963 and one of his early records. This is Girl from the North Country. Traveling in the North Country fair, where the wind blows heavy on the borderline, remember me to one who lives there, oh, she once was a true love of mine. And if you go where the snowflakes snow, the river's free and see if she has a coat so warm to keep her from the howling winds. Please see for me if her hair hanging long, if it rolls and flows all down her breast. Please see for me if her hair's hanging long. That's the way she remembers me at all. I hope and pray in the darkness of my night, brightness of my day. So if you're traveling in an old country fair, where the winds blow heavy on the borderline, remember me to wonder who's there. Oh, she was one who truly loved me. Thank you. Girl from the North Country, Bob Dylan.
That was so mellow. Lovely. Thank you, Charles. Okay. I called Mary Hogan. Somebody just messaged me saying that Mary has left already. So if that's correct, she won't be singing for us, which is a shame. But in that case, Dave Clare, could you please step in and we'll have Tom Poslet after you. So Dave Clare, then Tom Poslet.
There's a few bits of creationism in here that I'm not mad keen on, but I've got to give the bloke fair play to the bloke. I mean, he wrote it in 1836, which was I think it's before the Origin of Species came out on Kindle.
You're a little quiet there, Dave. I don't know if you need to be, yeah, which is frankly
that's very-
surprising from you.
Is that any better?
Yeah, that's better.
Is it? Right. This is written by Hugh McWilliams from Antrim in 1836. If all folk were inclined like me to live in peace and unity, no more contention there won't be among the folk of Erin. Originally we are all sprung from Father Admon and Young. These words should flow from every tongue. We will cherish peace in Erin. What shore can boast so pure an air, or sons more brave, or girls more fair, or who were e'er esteemed in war before the sons of Erin? Far and far abroad their courage known, in the field of Mars their glory shone. Now let us cultivate and home the laws of peace in Erin. would freedom, fair and commerce smile upon my dear, my native isle, not Egypt with its flowing Nile could equal thee, sweet Erin. Your silver lakes and gushing springs and verdant groves where music rings. Now peace with healing in her wings will bless this land of Erin. As principle that shows the man, this is the best, the only plan, and it's one that I have built upon while rambling through old Erin. So let us at this present day drive prejudice and spleen away, far, far beyond Atlantic sea, and we'll all shake hands in Erin. Thank you.
Well sung.
Nice one, Dave. Thank you. Over now to Tom, followed by Declan Coyne.
A bit of death and blood and stuff, I think, is required. This is my twisted version of Lucy 1. I'll put on the original sound as well. Fair Lucy, she sits at her father's door, weeping and making moan, and by there comes her brother dear. What ails thee, Lucy one? Oh, I ail, dear brother, she cries, and I'll tell you the reason why. There is a child between my two sides, that's from you, dear brother, and I. And he's drawn out his good broadsword that hung down by his knee, and he's cut off poor Lucy's head and her fair body into three, and out then came her thick heart's blood, and out then came the thin, and he is away to his mother's home. What ails thee, Geordie one? What is that blood on the point of your sword? My son can tell to me. Oh, that is the blood of my old grey mare. She would not ride for me, but your grey mare's blood was never so red. My son, come tell to me. Oh, that's not the blood of my old grey mare. It's the blood of my sister Lucy. Oh, what will you do when your father comes to know? My son, come tell to me. Oh, I will set foot in the bottomless boat, and I shall sail the sea. And when will you come back again? My son, come tell to me. When the sun and the moon dance on yonder hill, and that may never be.
That was chillingly creepy in a good way, Tom. So thank you. Okay, Declan is next, followed by Stacey Roth. I can't guarantee now that everyone will get on. Those who arrived quite late, it's looking unlikely, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, Declan, then Stacey. Can't hear you, Declan. You'll need to unmute. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My connection isn't great, so I'm going to switch off the video if that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is a song I wrote myself a little while back. In 1921, the village of Knockcrockery was burned to the ground by the infamous Black and Tans, and there was a commemoration of the event in Knockcrockery recently, so I wrote the song for that. It was the 21st of June, 1921. A riotous troop in lorries came, armed with petrol bombs and guns. Revenge was on their bloody minds, all in a drunken spree, for the death of General Lambert, ambushed eastward of Lockree. It being the hour past midnight, the village was asleep. The sky above was clear and bright, all peaceful in God's keep. Some light clouds drifted westward from Queen Maeve's final seat to herald in the solstice and the feast of St. John's Eve. 4 lorry loads of Black and Tans, auxiliaries and RIC, on that cruel and fateful night came to Knockcrockery. They left a trail of smouldering ruins raised by their vengeful spleen, while the homeless and the destitute all mourned the dreadful scene. Canon Bartholomew Kelly was the first to feel their ire. His furniture and famed library succumbing to the fire. When all about him was aflame, for safety he bound from his bedroom window to a roof below, then rolled onto the ground. The widow Murray bid them depart, the stout contrarian. 6 frightened children at her heels, she faced the ruffian gang. The widow's curse upon you, you monstrous black and tans. I hope and pray the day will come that you pay for your sin. Johnness's door they set aflame, which he quelled with sand and spade. As the rebel rampaged down the street to where clay pipes were made, with rifle butts they burst the doors, and the roofs they petrol bombed. Husbands, wives, and children unto the smoke-filled street were bound. Their homes they quickly were ablaze, the roofs being made of thatch, while menfolk fled in nightshirts and what little they could snatch. Wives with babes clutched to their breasts, young children scampered round. Confusion reigned, the cries, the pain, no comfort could be found. Gunfire, rifle, and pistol shot commingled in the air, with the peal of thatch and timber flame, no horror could compare. The good folk, though being brave and true, with the tad they could redeem, united in congregation, departed from the scene. They fled up to Uncragon, they call it Hangman's Hill. The neighbours all from miles around, when the flames the skies did fill, with gifts of clothes and shelter, like guardian angels came, and the Reverend Humphreys played his part with fine good Christian aim. The mob their dirty deed now done, for rest they settled down. Drank and smoked their stolen booty on the bridge below the town. They jeered and mocked their victims while their homes burned to the ground. Revenge, they said, for Lambert's death, a servant of the crown. All servants of the bloody crown. There you go.
Well done, Declan, and yeah, you wrote it yourself. Great stuff. Okay, over now to Stacey, and could Tim Radford follow Stacey, please?
Well, I think I'm going to lighten the mood and pick up on a theme from a little earlier in the evening. So here we go. There was a tailor had a mouse, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. They lived together in one house, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. Hi-diddle-o, come hi-diddle-fee, o'er the town of Ramsey. Hi-diddle-o, come over the lea, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. The tailor thought his mouse would die, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. So he baked him into an apple pie, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. Hi-diddle-o, come hi-diddle-fee, o'er the town of Ramsey. Hi-diddle-o, come over the lea, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. When the pie was cut, the mouse ran out, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. The tailor chased him all about, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. Hi-diddle-o, come hi-diddle-fee, o'er the town of Ramsey. Hi-diddle-o, come over the lea, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. Well, the tailor chased him here and there, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o, around the table and under the chair, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o, hi-diddle-o, come hi-diddle-fee, o'er the town of Ramsey, hi-diddle-o, come over the lea, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. Well, the mouse ran high, the mouse ran low, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. He bit the tailor on the nose. Ow! Hi-diddle-o, comfy-o, hi-diddle-o, come hi-diddle-fee, o'er the town of Ramsey, hi-diddle-o, come over the lea, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o, hi-diddle-o, come hi-diddle-fee, o'er the town of Ramsey, hi-diddle-o, come over the lea, hi-diddle-o, comfy-o. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Stacey, nonsense lyrics and a cuddly toy puppet. I mean, it just sums up the evening, really, doesn't it? Great stuff. Okay, over now to Tim, followed by Chris Lamb.
Okay, I'll sing a song I've been singing for a long, long time. Abroad as I was walking down by a riverside, I heard two lovers talking. The damsel she replied, "How could you be so cruel? How could you serve me so? You promised you would marry me about 2 months ago. My dear, I was prevented and could not come till now. So rest yourself contented, I never will break my vow. If I'd all the gold and silver that lies beyond the sea, I'd take more joy and pleasure in your sweet company. What maiden can believe you? You said so much before. The last time that I saw you, you said you'd come no more. You went and courted Nancy, the girl with a roving eye. It's she alone you fancy, you cannot this deny. I hear to what you say, my love, I own and swear 'tis true. I went and courted Nancy, but now I've come to you. Why should it breed a friction betwixt my love and I? It's you alone I fancy, with you I'll live and die. These words, they were revived her and struck her to the heart. And we will have a wedding before that we do part. The weather being pleasant, to church this couple passed, and now they are got married, long looked for come at last. Long looked for come at last.
Great to hear that, Tim. Thank you. Over now to Chris Lamb and Deirdre Bialo-Patine. Could you please follow Chris?
I'd just like to thank Racker for those invaluable tips, which I shall try and put into practice tomorrow morning when in my tennis game. In contrast to Tim, this is a song which I've never sung before. In fact, I've only learned it today. I think I'll stand up for this. Probably be better.
You're on mute.
Boy, I'll go to the fair like we always done. Get in the car and give it a run. Get a few friends and have some fun. Down at the Bampton Fair, boy, down at the Bampton Fair. Who did you see at the Bampton Fair? Get your beer down, Bob, we're moving. Who did you see at the Bampton Fair, boy? Young ones, old ones, me and you. Travellers, farmers, visitors too. They even had a TV crew. Down at the Bampton Fair, boy, down at the Bampton Fair. What did you drink at the Bampton Fair? Get your beer down, Bob, we're moving. What did you drink at the Bampton Fair, boy? 21 pints and one for my head, or a scotch or a brandy or a port instead, all served up in a muddy old shed. Down at the Bampton Fair, boy, down at the Bampton Fair. What did you buy at the Bampton Fair? Get your beer down, Bob, we're moving. What did you buy at the Bampton Fair, boy? A crockery set that's got no cups, a brand new shirt that's got no cuffs, a blooming old bride that's got no puff. Down at the Bampton Fair, boy, down at the Bampton Fair. What did you get at the Bampton Fair? Get your beer down, Bob, we're moving. What did you get at the Bampton Fair, boy? 2 black eyes and a broken nose. I caught a cold and I damn near froze. A bump on the head and I tore me clothes. Down at the Bampton Fair, boy, down at the Bampton Fair. Will you go next year to Bampton Fair? Get your beer down, Bob, we're moving. Will you go next year to Bampton Fair, boy? If the pubs are open and the beer is free, if the landlord says it's all on me, if I can't think of anywhere else to be, I'll go to Bampton Fair, boy, I'll go to Bampton Fair. I'll go to Bampton Fair, boy, I'll go to Bampton Fair.
You learned that today, Chris, and you're singing it already. Good stuff. Impressive. Okay, so Deirdre is our next singer, followed by David Jones. And time is doing weird things this evening. So I think we actually might have time for one more singer. So after David, if there's anyone who has not yet sung, then I'll prioritize you. I don't know what's going on. It's time stretches and shrinks. Anyway, so Deirdre, then David, and then we shall see.
Hi, everybody. After listening to Simon, I was thinking how much I really miss dancing with other people. But in a completely different style, I'm going to sing a waltz. Oh, the night was clear and the stars were shining and the moon came up so quiet in the sky. All the people gathered round and the band was a-tuning. I can hear them now, playing Coming Through the Rye. And we danced all night, the fiddle and the banjo. Their drifting tunes seemed to fill the air. So long ago, but I still remember when we fell in love at the Roseville Fair. You were dressed in blue and you looked so lovely, just a gentle flower of a small town girl. You took my hand and we stepped to the music, and with a single smile, you became my world. And we danced all night to the fiddle and the banjo. Their drifting tunes seemed to fill the air. So long ago, but I still remember when we fell in love at the Roseville Fair. Now we courted well and we courted dearly, and we've rocked for hours in the front porch chair. And then a year went by from the day that I met you, and I made you mine at the Roseville Fair. And we danced all night to the fiddle and the banjo. Their drifting tunes seem to fill the air. So long ago, but I still remember when we fell in love at the Roseville Fair. So here's a song for all you lovers, and here's a tune that they can share. May you dance all night to the fiddle and the banjo, the way we did at the Roseville Fair.
Good one, Deirdre. Thank you. Okay, yeah, and dancing. Yeah, I missed that too. Steve Andisaw doesn't because he was dancing with his mop. So yeah. Okay, David Jones is our next singer. I don't see any additional hands up. Rory, I see you have arrived and you haven't put your hand up. If you'd like to sing, the spot is open to you. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know what to do really. Anyway, David Jones, over to you. Sorry, I mean David's iPhone 6, obviously, but you'll have to unmute. Whatever you call yourself.
There you go. I got
Yeah,
it.
there we are.
See? 4 years of engineering school. I love that. That's my favorite Bill Stain song that Deirdre just sang. It's beautiful. And I'll just sing a few verses of the New England version of Rolling Home to Old New England. Call all hands to man the capstan. See the cable running clear. Heave away and with the will, boys, for the channel we will steer. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home to old New England, rolling home, dear land, to thee, round Cape Horn on a winter's morning, all among the ice and snow. Clear your sheets and clear your halyards. Swing her out and let her go. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea. Rolling home to old New England, rolling home, dear land, to thee. And the waves we leave behind us seem to murmur as they go. There's a hearty welcome waiting in that land to which we go. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea.
rolling home to old New England, rolling home, dear land, to thee. And we'll sing in joyful chorus through the watches of the night, and we'll see her shores arising in the early morning light, rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home to old New England, rolling home, dear land, to thee.
Beautifully sung.
Oh, you're in fine voice, David. Fine voice, as always.
Almost cracked up, almost cracked up.
Very well sung, David.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Nice one, David. Thank you. Yeah, always good to have you with us. And I see Rory has a short song. Somebody made the outrageous suggestion that we finish a minute early, but I like people to get their money's worth. And so Rory will finish the evening for us. Before he comes on to sing, as always, a big thank you to everyone for being here. What a fantastic collection of songs we've had this evening. And thank you to Livy on the mute button and David for collating the index, and hope to see you all again soon. Over to you, Rory.
Right, can you hear me all right?
Certainly can.
Oh, jolly good. Well, this is a sort of a goodbye song. Lonely, I wander the scenes of my childhood. They bring back to memory those happy days of yore. Gone are the old folk, the house stands deserted. No light in the window, no welcome at the door. Here's where the children played games in the heather. Here's where they sailed their wee boats on the burn. Where are they now? Some are dead, some have wandered no more to their homes. Will those children return? Alone is the house now, and lonely the moorland. The children are scattered, the old folk are gone. Why stand I here like a ghost or a shadow? It's time I was moving, it's time I passed on. The old house.
Lovely. Well sung.
Beautiful, Rory. Well sung.
Lovely stuff, Rory. Great way to end the evening. Thanks again, everybody. Great to have you here, and see you all next week.
Yes.
Thank you, Amanda.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Thank
Amanda.
you, Amanda.
Lovely,
Lovely
everyone.
evening.
Thank you
Lovely.
all.